Students from all over the state are sworn into the Minnesota Association of Student Councils, but the high schools of rural northern Minnesota are usually less represented than southern bigger cities. One junior from Bemidji's TrekNorth High School has set out to change that narrative. For this week's Golden Apple, our reporter Sydney Dick spoke to the newly elected board secretary, who also became the first person to ever be elected from her school.
Out of the 5.8 million people who live in Minnesota, only about 10 to 15% live in the northern half of the state. One of those people is named Dee LaFleur, and her goal is to become a voice at the state level for small-town, underrepresented high school students.
I was able to really get the voice of us rural divisions out there, because especially a lot of the schools that attend these conferences are more of the southern schools in the cities.
Which is why she set out to become a part of the Minnesota Association of Student Councils Executive Board. After campaigning for her spot in the Twin Cities, Dee was elected as board secretary.
I just love doing leadership stuff. It's just been something I've always been drawn to. And I've also just had such a deep connection with others all throughout my life. So it really impacts me to know when other people feel like they're comfortable and supported and represented.
On top of it already being a big deal for Dee to be elected from such a small rural school, she is also the first one to ever be elected from TrekNorth.
For a school our size and being in a rural area in northern Minnesota, it's a huge deal, even just for the Northwest Division. For someone from TrekNorth to be elected to something this big is a pretty big deal for us.
I think that really encouraged me to just continue that legacy of just trying, at least, to get that voice out there.
She will attend leadership forums and overnight conferences and will work with other student councils from across the whole nation.
One of the big things I really wanted to cover was representation, and that be representation of all of the delegates within the MASC, but then also representation of us up here who often get pushed off to the sidelines at these really big conferences.
Reporting from Bemidji with this week's Golden Apple, I'm Sydney Dick, Lakeland News.
This Golden Apple segment of Lakeland News was brought to you in part by Crow Wing Power, dedicated to providing reliable electricity and a knowledgeable and caring staff to assist you with energy-saving programs and tips. More at cwpower.com. Lakeland News is a nonprofit news organization. Donate to Lakeland PBS today to support your local news team.